Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Hairsa, also known as the Hairsa Way, and today I'm very excited because I have yet another collab, this time with Nikki at Nikki Lynn. I actually approached Nikki and I was like, hey, do you want to do a YouTube collab? I love your channel. We are actually doing this, I would call it a makeup tag. This is actually created by Julia Adams. I will definitely tag her in the description below. Top 3 makeup favorites, like for each category of makeup, she picks her 3 favorites. This is kind of like a first time of both of us doing this. I personally love talking about makeup. We picked 10 categories that we both have at least 3 products from, so that's what we're going with today. I am going to go through my categories. I'm definitely going to talk, some of these products are definitely going to be more current favorites than actual like me picking my top 3 favorites of all time, just because if I had to do that we would sit here forever. So let's get started. One more thing, when I'm talking about these products, whichever category, even though I'm going to refer to them as first, second, and third, I am not ranking them. This is just numbering them again for my ease. Alrighty, first category is eyeshadow palettes, and I'm very excited about this one because Nikki also loves her some eyeshadow palettes, and I'm actually very excited to watch her video, and particularly this portion, because I'm curious what brands she's gonna pick and see how they compare to mine. My first one is gonna be the Blend Bunny Sickly Sweet palette. I'm gonna keep it very short because I've talked about this palette in quite a few recent videos. Actually, my most recent one was my best of for 2024. This is what she looks like. I've said it before, I will say it again. A very well made and very well created pastel palette. It comes with great deep mattes that help not only deepen the look but just add more dimension and more tones to it. I actually quite love the shimmers in this palette too. Yeah, I absolutely love this palette. It's definitely my favorite pastel palette because it has all of the pastel tones that you might need. Peaches, lilacs, blues, greens, pinks, yellows, everything. Second palette is also from Blend Bunny. This is their plastic palette. Full disclosure, I have received this in PR, and this is what she looks like. First of all, I love the hot pink packaging. Very mean girls. Since I got this palette, I haven't been able to put it down, okay? Y'all know I love me the Blend Bunny matte formula. That's already well established. You guys know, you've heard me say that 10,000 times. I'm sure you're already tired and sick of me saying that. But the shimmers on here are perfection. I have used quite a few of them several times and I just love them, but my favorite one has to be Gossip. I'm sorry, I know that I'm supposed to talk about the palette, but I have to mention Gossip. This is a stunning, this one particularly right here. It's between a pink and a gold. Such a good shadow, okay? But this is a perfect palette. You can go colorful with it, even though it looks more neutral and it looks like it leans neutral. You can definitely go very colorful with it. It's just perfection. Honestly, you can use even just one matte and one shimmer and call it a day. It's such a good palette for an everyday, even for, you know, going out, date night, whatever. Galentine, since Valentine's Day is coming and Galentine is coming, like anything and everything. Been loving this. Yeah, such a good release from Blend Bunny. I was not expecting to love it as much as I do. Like, I love Blend Bunny's palettes, but this one, I don't know, something about it. Even though it's not like a very, when you think of it, it's not like, oh, a Hairsa color story, but it became a Hairsa color story. I love it. And last but certainly not least, I have to mention a C Beauty palette. Okay, y'all know how this goes. This is the Fleeting Life palette from Cheeryep x Freya. I love Freya. She's one of my favorite creators. And my God, first of all, let's talk about the outer packaging. I gotta mention this. How beautiful is this ruby red? How gorgeous is this outer packaging? And then you open it and you get this gorgeous color story, which I would say it's mostly neutral, especially when it comes to the mattes, because we mostly have like cool tone neutrals. But my God, the pigmentation on these mattes is insane. First of all, they appear on the lid darker than they look on the pan. And second of all, they pack a punch. And I mean that. You gotta pick up very little, because if you pick up a lot, that's gonna be a lot of pigment and it's gonna make it harder to blend. But I love the formula. I've really been enjoying this palette lately. It's so approachable. You can just create a really sultry, sexy ass look. Y'all know me, I'm not a big neutrals girly, but if I had to pick, cool tone neutrals will always get me. Always. I've always leaned towards more cool tone neutrals than warm tone, although I love both. I gotta say, I love both, but cool tones just do it for me. This palette is amazing. Freya just killed it with this. Just slay the game, okay? This is such a great palette. And again, gotta shout out the packaging one more time because it just matches the energy of the palette so well. Next category is single shadows, and again, I'm picking current ones. This first one is Snowfall Sparkle. Full disclosure, I have received this in PR from Shambazdi. This was part of their advent calendar, and I actually unboxed the advent calendar on my YouTube channel. If you go back, you will find it a few videos before this one. This is actually a really nice iridescent, definitely softer, I would say, than their other iridescents in their line. This is actually a perfect iridescent if you just want an everyday shadow that it's not like, this is pretty sparkly, but not like extreme sparkle, you know, just something for every day, something for work. I've been loving using this. Actually, I actually took it with my finger and tapped it all over my lid today. I don't know if it really shows because I put it so subtly, you can barely tell, but it's a gorgeous, like, everyday iridescent. I've really been enjoying it for that. And it's so nice to layer on top of any colorful matte, because you know how iridescents are very versatile when it comes to that. You just tap them on top of something, and this doesn't really alter the color of anything. I wore it on top of like a pastel green matte the other day, and it just looked gorgeous. Second single is gonna be from a C Beauty brand. This is the Joocyee eyeshadow in the shade D114. Oh, this one is so gorgeous. As you can tell, this is kind of like a pink with green and blue sparkles, I would say. It's a very dry formula, which I think will be approachable. Creamy shadows sometimes tend to crease on people, so, you know, drier formulas are more favorable, but this one is gorgeous because if you pick it up with like a flat, you know, brush, the flat eyeshadow brush, this picks up a lot more opaque. But if you pick it up with your finger or a fluffier brush, it will pick up less, like, you know, very thin. And you can just, again, disperse it all over your lid. That's how I've worn it. I've also worn it more opaque on the lid, and I love it both times. It's very, very sparkly. Definitely needs a glitter glue. I mean, I always wear my shimmers with glitter glue, so for me, it's standard for every kind of shadow. But yeah, I love this one. So you can just take this with a little bit of your finger and just like tap it on top of your lid or your whole eye, and it will just look twinkly and sparkly. Again, I've been in my whimsical era with these shadows that I just take and tap, tap, tap a little. This is such a good one. I highly recommend this brand too. Last but certainly not least, again, not in ranking, this is Incognito Holo from Touch of Glam. This is a black shimmery holo. Okay, you guys know I've talked about them before. I love me a sparkly black eyeshadow. I feel like they're very underrated amongst dark shimmers in general. I know people love, you know, matte black shadows because they're very, you know, easy to use to darken up a look and whatnot. But trust, black shimmers are just as special, okay? This one is really nice. I actually used it in a very recent look. I should have posted it on my Instagram by now when you're seeing this video. Yeah, this is such a good one. Honestly, you would think that because the pigment is so dark, because obviously it's a black shadow, the holo would be eaten up by that. No, this is just super gorgeous. What you see on the pan is what you get on the eyes. Yeah, this is a great one. I had to include, you know, a dark shimmer in my top 3. The third category is lipsticks, and firstly I'm going to talk about this Mario. I believe this is a lip cream, ultra suede cozy lip cream. Okay, the name was much longer than I thought, but I got it right. It's a lip cream because lip cream is the perfect word for this formula. I have the shade brownish pink. I absolutely love this formula, and the scent, I gotta tell y'all, the scent takes me back to my childhood. It gives me a lot of nostalgia. I don't know what particular snack smelled like this. This smells like chocolate, but not necessarily like chocolate. It's like not Nutella either, something in the middle. I don't know, there's something about it that I really enjoy. Very comfortable on the lips. I know I've been planning to pick up a few for years now because I believe I got this one in 2022. But, you know, I've prioritized other purchases, especially when it comes to Black Friday purchases. So I cannot wait for like a, you know, Memorial Day sale or whenever Mario's having a sale, because I'm definitely picking up a few more. I'm actually shocked that I haven't talked about it much either on my Instagram or on my YouTube, because I wear this very often. We have another C Beauty brand. This C Beauty is just slowly taking over, okay? For like at least the first 3 categories, I've had a C Beauty product. This is the Flower Nose. I believe this is a lip cream as well. I bought this also quite a few years ago. I believe maybe 2 years ago, I think. And this is like again, also the lip cream kind of realm. It's very comfortable on the lips, definitely dries down more than Mario's formula, but I also am surprised I haven't talked about this more on Instagram or here, because I also wear this quite often, like especially on an everyday basis. And this smells this also reminds me of my childhood, like some kind of gums or some kind of like strawberry like snack. This definitely has a lovely scent as well. It's very light, much lighter than the packaging. It has that a little bit of like that blurring quality than most like Asian beauty matte lip products do have. But yeah, I quite enjoy this one. The packaging is actually really nice. I mean, they love doing their cutesy stuff. Last but certainly not least, we have this Nars liquid lipstick. I believe this is called the Powermatte liquid lipstick, if I'm not mistaken. And this is in the shade Somebody to Love. Listen, I love this formula from Nars, and I know for a fact I have spoken about this before on my channel and on Instagram. I love these because first of all, you have to shake them really nicely, but the reason why I love them so much is because they're long lasting but very comfortable on the lips. And I quite enjoy the applicator. Not only does it make it easy to apply it all over your lips, it's also very easy to line with these. I quite often use liquid lipsticks as liners because they're very long lasting. So sometimes it makes it, you know, easy. And sometimes I want particular colors that I don't have in lip liner form. So I always go to liquid lipstick. But yeah, I really enjoy this formula from Nars. It's very liquidy, not drying at all, very comfortable on the lips. And I'm so sad that they haven't come out with any new colors. I actually believe that they've discontinued quite a few, which is such a shame. Fourth category is cream blushes, and the first one, again, I'm gonna keep it very short because I already spoke about this in my best of for 2024. This is Condensate from Phytosurgence, and this is what it looks like. Again, these products are filled up to the brim, and I've used it quite a little bit. I really enjoy this particular color. I do have another one, but I use this more often because this is very cool toned on me. Okay, this is a perfect mauve, like cream mauve blush on me, and I love it. I use it often. It blends beautifully. I tap it on with my finger and then you know, blend it with my sponge and then set it with powder, and it does not disappear. Another formula I really enjoy is this Flower Beauty, I believe these are called the Blush Bomb, and this is in the shade Nectar. I bought this quite a few years ago. I actually have another one that I've completely run out of. Maybe this is like 2 drops left, but this is much lighter because I used to like lighter blushes, but my preferences definitely veered towards darker as I grew older. I quite enjoy this one. Even though it's pretty dewy on the cheeks, it does not lift my foundation. They're very pigmented. Again, when they get set with powder, they also do not disappear. Yes, I set my face with powder, okay? If I leave cream products or liquid product or my foundation unset, it's gonna slip and slide. I have oily skin. This is an amazing formula. Again, very pigmented. And for years, I've been wanting to get more shades, and I just haven't, and I need to get on that. Last but certainly not least, of course, I'm gonna mention a Fenty cream blush. This is not a hairstyle video without mentioning a Fenty cream blush. This is in the shade Riri. This is also a mauve, but different from Condensate. This is darker and less cool toned. This is not as cool toned as Condensate. It's a really nice tone. It translates like a really nice mid-tone pink on my cheeks, and again, they don't disappear when I set them with powder. You guys know I love me the Fenty cream blushes. I've talked about them numerous times on my channel, so you guys know I love them. Fifth category are powder blushes, and my first one is gonna be a powder blush from MAC. This is in the shade Harmony, and it's one of their matte blushes. It's a pretty nice nude blush. I would say it, although it looks neutral in the pan, it does lean a bit warm on me, but I don't mind. That's not a criticism. I actually quite enjoy it. And actually, even though I've used it quite a few times, there's no dip in this. It's very hardly pressed. When I was doing the best of 2024, I've used this so often in 2024, even now too. Actually, it's the blush that I'm currently wearing now, the powder blush that I'm currently wearing now. And I had to cut it because, again, I had to make some hard choices, but this is a product that I've been enjoying throughout, not just this year, again, these few 2 months, but even throughout 2024. I really enjoy this formula. Second blush, C Beauty comes back into the scene. This is the Kaleidos Dreamwalk blush. You guys know the relationship I have with this blush. Yes, I've hit quite a little bit of pan in this product. Actually, in the makeup tag video with Cassie, I talked about it, and although that was filmed back in October, if you go back in the video and see, the pan was much smaller, but now it's gotten much bigger because I do have to layer quite a little bit of this blush for it to show up on me exactly how I want it to, but it's still lovely nonetheless. It's not like, you know, my holy grail blush, but I do quite enjoy it. I do enjoy this formula. I gotta say, I really like it. I really hope Kaleidos wakes up. Again, I know I say this in every time I talk about Kaleidos, but they gotta wake up and come out with some new product, okay? Because they've been missing in action, and we've been missing them too. They have great products. Last but certainly not least is this random find in one of our local stores here. This is the Colormates blush in the shade, I believe this is Pink Shimmer. Yeah, Pink Shimmer. This is very pale, okay? This is a pale blush. But I do enjoy it for looks that I've done, especially recently. I've been into my like white, gray, and black era. And every time I want to do a look where I want my cheeks to look devoid of color, I go with this particular blush. I don't know why I enjoy it this much. Again, it's so light. It has a very prominent white base in it, but I really do enjoy it. I can't put a lot though. If I put a lot, I mess it up. It looks like a, you know, white patch on my cheek. So you can imagine how pale this is. And I don't even think this brand exists anymore. I believe this is like a Dollar Tree brand. If I'm not mistaken, I might be. So definitely don't quote me on that. But I do enjoy this blush. I wish I had found more, but this is the only one. And I was like, huh, this looks like a promising, like, cool tone blush, and it is. But again, very pale. But I have been enjoying it. I have to say. So yeah, this is like a not well-known brand to me, but it's a random find, and sometimes random finds are the best finds. Sixth category are highlighters, and firstly, I gotta start with this highlighter palette. Unfortunately discontinued, and again, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet because I already spoke about this in my best of 2024. This is the Noctilucent palette from Blend Bunny. You guys know I freaking love this highlighter palette. It has every colorful highlighter tone that you need. A yellowish gold, a blue, a green, a pink, a lilac, and like a darker reddish color. Okay, it's great. It goes with every skin tone. It's amazing. So sad it's been discontinued. I love it. Every time that I want to wear a highlighter and not use an eyeshadow as a highlighter, this is where I go to. Again, I already spoke about this in my best of 2024, so I'm not gonna repeat myself 10,000 times. Next up, we have my Fenty Diamond Bomb in the shade How Many Carats, the OG. This is amazing. Again, I always touch it because it has lost its puttiness for years and years now. This is how much I've used it. You can tell this comes like dome. This is what it looks like now. It's still a classic, okay? It's a beautiful colorless highlighter, honestly. It is, because it doesn't really, although it appears white in the pan, it doesn't really have a color to it. So like it can literally go on any skin tone. Like it's not gonna leave a cast because it just sparkles together. That's it. You know, but it's gorgeous. You can layer it on top of anything: body, face, eyes, lip, whatever you, hair, even whatever you prefer doing. I freaking love this one. I think it's a great product, great innovation from Fenty. Again, I've spoken about this before, so I'm keeping it short and sweet. And last but certainly not least, when it comes to highlighters, I have to go with another C Beauty item, of course. This is the Kaleidos Skywalker highlighter. This is one of my best blue highlighters that I have. It's very sparkly, very colorful, very intense too. I absolutely love it. I know I haven't used it in a while, but I think I gotta, because this is a great highlighter. They have pretty cool ones, and especially in this packaging is pretty cool, if you ask me. And the name Skywalker, I mean, if you're a Star Wars fan, right? This would be a cool product to have, but I love it. I do love me a blue highlighter, and this is actually really, really nice and a really nice formula. I don't love all of the colorful highlighters that they have. There's some that I'm like about. This one though is one of my favorites. I absolutely love it, and yeah, it has to be in my top 3. Seventh category, we have eye pencils, and this was also a very tough category for me because I love quite a few eye pencils, and I change my eye pencils like nobody's business. What I wear one week, I don't wear the other, because eye pencil is something that I wear on a daily basis, especially when I go to work. But one of my favorites recently has been this Sephora collection. I gotta read this because it's a long name. 12-hour colorful contour eye pencil, and this is in the shade Fresh Mint. This is, although it says mint, it's a nice sagey green, and it's actually, it has gold sparkles throughout it. Very cool. It's a very unique and interesting eye pencil. I actually quite enjoy it. I do enjoy the Sephora collection eye pencils. I'm a big fan. It's a really nice like tone to have. I don't think I have anything like it in my collection eye pencils wise, but yeah, I really enjoy it. Next up, we have one of Vicky's pencils. This is Night Flash. I also used this in my most recent look that I posted on Instagram. Again, I'm sure it's up by the time you see this video. And also I posted a short and a reel too, whichever one you want to check out, with swatches of all of my Victoria Beckham pencils. This is what this one looks like. It's a sparkly black eye pencil. I absolutely love it. And you know, I love her formula because of how smudgeable it is. And there you go. Yeah, this is so nice. Yeah, I really, really enjoy this pencil. I do want to get more colors from her, especially like her, like, you know, cream, just like without sparkles, just because she has a really nice selection. Last but certainly not least, a J Beauty item is making it into the list. I know that I'm shouting out all the like the Asian beauty products, but truly they have taken over my preference and my collection. So that's why, because they've been all great discoveries this year. I mean 2024, and this one was a random discovery in a grocery store. The shade 02, this is a really nice neutral brown. These also like set and do not budge, but they're pretty smudgeable once you apply them. But yeah, this has been one that I've been using quite often. 8th category are lip liners, and Cursed is making it back into the screen. This is the Unearthly actually lip liner in the shade Cursed. It's an amazing cool tone, the best cool toned lip liner I have. It's great. I've been using it in so many looks. I'm like, okay, I gotta step back and stop using this pencil because I've been loving it so much. It's a great formula, very creamy, not too creamy. It lasts very well on the lips. It blends very nicely. The only complaint I have about it is the cap. As you can see, this is not the cap that it comes with. Let me show you another Unearthly pencil. They come with these transparent caps, but these break very easily and they escape when you keep them on your bag. So I am just replacing their caps with caps of like pencils that I, you know, might have been running out along the way, and I just keep replacing if I'm bringing one with me. So keep that in mind. If you get one, that cap is very loose. But yeah, that's the only complaint that I have, which is basically just packaging, not the formula itself. Second lip pencil is this LA Colors gel lip liner in the shade Rosé All Day. This is a really nice, I want to say like rosy, pinky, like very warm leaning lip pencil. LA Colors is a very affordable brand. Usually you can find them in Five and Below or, you know, Dollar Tree. And yeah, I really enjoy this formula. I just wish though that their range was a little bit better because it can be it can go darker than whatever options they have. But yeah, I just really genuinely enjoy this formula. It's really nice, really creamy. Again, kind of like what I described about Unearthly, but a bit creamier. But yeah, it lasts quite a long time. It's really nice. And again, if you're looking for something that is a bit more affordable, definitely look into LA Colors. I believe they do have not just this line of lip liners, but it's kind of hard to like determine online because some of their stuff is not sold online. It's just in stores, and you know, sometimes you find them, sometimes you don't. So yeah, that's the only like gripe that I have with the brand. Last but certainly not least, a heart-breaking product. This is the NYX, the iconic NYX Urban Cafe lip liner, and this is what mine looks like. And why I'm saying that it's heartbreaking is because NYX fucking discontinued it. Leave it to NYX to just discontinue perfectly fine products, okay? Listen, I'm gonna get heated all over again, but this is what it looks like. I am pretty sure Urban Cafe, this is the one, by the way, it's the perfect warm chocolatey brown, okay? They just couldn't let us have just one little thing. And I'm pretty sure Urban Cafe was very popular back in the 2015 to 17 YouTube. I'm pretty sure a lot of people talked about this one. Look at it. It's a perfect tone, okay? It's a perfect tone. They just couldn't let us have one perfectly warm chocolatey brown lip liner. But yeah, I've been enjoying it quite often recently. It used to be a little bit longer than this, but yeah, this is what it's gotten to. 9th category is lip glosses, and my first one has to be this Unearthly lip gloss this is from their Gargoyle collection, and this is in the shade Twilight Whisper. This is the perfect white shimmery gloss, okay? It doesn't lean one way or the other. It's not warm or cool. It's just a white shimmery gloss, okay? And it's so freaking perfect. I especially have worn it with Cursed, the lip liner that I spoke about earlier from Unearthly as well. And it's just chef's kiss of a combo. But I do really enjoy this one. Sometimes I have to stop myself from wearing it because I'm like, okay, no, I gotta wear a different gloss. I love this one though. It's so freaking great, and it's pretty long lasting and very sparkly. This is not just like a meh sparkle. This is sparkly on the lips. Shout outs to Unearthly, okay? Their lip products have been just top notch for me. Second product, and again, I'm gonna sound like I'm self-promoting here, but trust, I've really been enjoying this. This I wore in my most recent, like, you know, cool toned gray look on my Instagram, but I freaking love this product. This is the Half Magic Beauty Lip Snuggle High Pigment Oil Balm, and this is in the shade Mauve Industry. That's a cool play on words. Listen, even though they're calling this an oil, this, and it's, I can see why they're calling it an oil. It's very comfortable on the lips, and I can see why they're also calling it a balm, because again, it's very comfortable and plush on the lips, but it's very long lasting without it being goopy, nasty, disgusting on the lips, without settling into any fine lines. I love this formula, and the tones that they have are perfection, but I just really gonna need them to release some colorful options. I have another shade. I want to get all the shades that they have, but they're so expensive. I have Magic Beauty give us some sales, because this damn thing is like 20 something dollars. I would consider it a gloss, even though they're calling it a balm. I'm gonna consider it a gloss. It's pretty pigmented. Again, like I said, it fits the description of an oil balm, but it comes with a pigmentation that a lip gloss has. Last but certainly not least is gonna be a Pat McGrath lip gloss. Listen, you guys know that I love my Pat McGrath lip glosses. Her lip glosses are really nice. These feel more like compared to the other two glosses that I talked about, these feel more like a gel formula, kind of like the NYX butter glosses, but a bit thicker and a bit more pigmented than those. But these are great, a bit more long lasting than the NYX ones too. Again, I'm comparing it to NYX because that's the closest formula I can find to these. I freaking love this one. The label is off, but and I'm gonna put it on the screen if I find out which shade this is. It's a perfect deeper nude on me. Not the deepest, you know, nude gloss that I have. I didn't provide swatches for the other lip glosses, but for this one I will, because it's not really a brown either. I mean, look at it. It's just something in between. It's such an in-between color. It's so gorgeous, and as you can see, it looks almost like gel-like even on the back of my hand. Yeah, I love it. The only thing that I'm gonna complain about is that the smell goes off a little bit. Now you're gonna say, Hairstyle, maybe it's time for you to throw it away. I'm not gonna. Am I a bad example? Yes, I am. Don't take my example. Don't do as I do. But I'm gonna do me, and I'm gonna use this. I haven't had any reaction so far, so I'm gonna continue using. And yes, I use it quite often, even in my daily life. I actually have some other nudes from her, and this one I actually had to move around to do this because it was like kind of halfway through. And they're very comfortable, very nice on the lips, and again, great pigmentation. Alrighty, last but certainly not least, I'm gonna talk about brushes. Now, I'm gonna insert one face brush just to keep it a little bit more balanced, and two eye brushes. I'm going to talk about the face brush first. This is the Singe Beauty F01 brush. This is a face brush, and I gotta say, I've never talked about them on my YouTube channel, but I love the Singe Beauty brushes I own. I only own 3, and all 3 are amazing, okay? This one, although it might be a foundation brush for most, for me, it's setting with powder. I take my loose powder and I just do this all over my face, and it just sets beautifully. It doesn't apply too much product. It just, you know, applies it very evenly on my skin. I freaking love this brush. It's my favorite brush to set my whole face with. Even though it's been washed quite a few times, hasn't shed, hasn't become scratchy. Yeah, it's just amazing. Even though it's synthetic hair. I mean, I don't really have a preference. If a brush is good, right? But yeah, this is just an amazing brush all around. I highly recommend y'all try Singe Beauty, whether it's this brush or not. I just think they're a great quality brand. Now for eye brushes, yeah, I'm gonna talk about Singe Beauty again. This is the E02 eye brush. Look at it. It's very tapered at the top. Should I do this? Should I be a total YouTuber right now? As you can see, it's tapered at the top, but it's very, how do I call it? precise. That's the best word I can use, because you can just go a little bit with something here and it will apply the shadow right in the spot that you want it to. It's not gonna be like a fluffy, a particularly, you know, like super fluffy. Let me compare it to something else, like a super fluffy crease brush, right? It's gonna be something more precise and detailed, and I quite enjoy it because, again, it just blends shadows perfectly. Last but certainly not least, I'm gonna talk about this Shoto O2 brush. I really hope that they bring this out as an individual brush, because my God, this is an amazing brush. This applies the shadow exactly. It's very pointy, very pointy. It's like a pencil brush, but made looser and longer. That's the best way I can describe it. I actually really enjoy the brushes that come with it too, but this one is a very special one. I actually used it for the first time when I did my New Year's Eve makeup look, one of my favorite makeup look of all time, actually. It is my favorite. And I applied a very dark matte with this, and it just applied it perfectly. It's even more detailed than the Singe Beauty brush that I talked about earlier, because obviously, I mean, look at the shape. It's like very, very sharp. But yeah, I really enjoy this. You guys know I'm a big Rephr brushes fan. And yes, I do have, actually it's quite old now, but I do have a video dedicated to my favorite Rephr brushes of all time. It's a bit older, so obviously this hadn't come out yet, but if I had to redo the video again, which at some point I think I will, I'm definitely including this one. I really hope they continue to make it. I really hope it's not like limited edition, never coming back. And this is it, you guys, the video on all my top 3 favorites for quite a few makeup categories. I cannot wait to watch Nikki's video. Please check her out. Her YouTube is always so fun. She always talks about different, especially eyeshadow palettes. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.